Russell Spitzer. I work at a company called DataStax, and I'm a software engineer. And most of the time I work on something called the Spark Cassandra connector, which is the integration between Apache Spark and Apache Cassandra. Yeah, this is, I think, my third or fourth Scale by the Bay. I mean, it was Scala by the Bay a long time ago. I first heard about it because I was going to a lot of the meetups that were being hosted by Alexei. And we also then learned that we actually live pretty close together. And I've just been attending meetups and going to Scale by the Bay ever since, So I always think it's one of my favorite conferences to go to because a lot of people I know go to this conference and you really hear the kind of cutting edge of what's happening in the industry. My favorite part about my talk is it's really about weighing the costs and benefits of something before you fully dive into it and put all your eggs in that basket. So in particular, my talk's about whether or not Spark is a good addition to your stack, especially if Cassandra is already part of it. And I like to talk about the primary costs and benefits that you can get from including Spark. So one thing that people don't like to think about sometimes, because it's fun to get the new toy and get it involved as quickly as you can, is there might be alternative solutions to the same problems that are cheaper to maintain, easier to build, and easier to work with. Yeah, so since I work on the integration between Spark and Cassandra, and we're really a business-to-business sort of organization, what I do is basically try to broaden the market of people who can work with Cassandra, because all by itself, Cassandra is an amazing OLTP database. It's distributed, it's got a lot of fault tolerance and resilience, but it doesn't have the analytics tools that a lot of people require to do other things with their data. So I like being able to help broaden that market, allow people who never thought they could do a certain thing with their Cassandra data suddenly get open to a whole new world of all the possibilities that Spark allows. So one of the talks that I really enjoyed today is I learned a lot about Scala Bridge. There was a talk on how to enhance diversity and strengthen the Scala community. And one thing that I always feel like I need to be doing better at is finding more folks who are just entering into programming and helping them get a better understanding of what the industry actually looks like and what it's like to be a programmer, and building those initial skills and confidence so that they can hopefully someday be speaking at a conference just like this. So professionally, the thing I'm most excited about is, this is a little technically deep and probably doesn't have a lot of relevance to a lot of people, but Spark is coming out with a new API called DataSource v2. And DataSource v2 really enables end databases or systems connecting to Spark a much greater range of capability. The sorts of things that you can start doing while communicating with Spark are being greatly expanded. The interactions between catalogs and other databases and Spark's own catalog are becoming pluggable. There are a lot of differences in how Spark recognizes the partitioning and clustering of external data sources, as well as better integration for streaming and things like that. So I'm really excited that that's about to become full mainstream, and I'm excited to be working on our own connector that's going to utilize that new API. I mean, my favorite part about Scale by the Bay is really all of the super intelligent, welcoming people who are here. I mean, when you're at this conference, it always feels like you can ask a question of anybody and suddenly learn a whole lot of new things. Or if you're confused about something in the industry, a new trend or something like that, everyone is always ready to talk and explain why something is important now or why they don't think something is important. So it's a great place to come and learn about things that aren't widely talked about. So I really appreciate that about it. And I do wish the conference was closer. I live in New Orleans now, so what I would like is it should be hosted in New Orleans. But outside of that, I really enjoy coming to the conference.